Next, Anderson, a 300-pound teenager desperate for help.
My family has a history of diabetes and cancer. I don't want those things to happen to me.
Our intervention to save her life. Next, Anderson.
Today at 4 on TV6.
Today on Anderson.
That's my napkin.
I joined these first graders, and we're all trying foods for the first time.
You go first.
Oh, no, they're terrible. Plus, over 300 pounds. Just who's to blame for this teen's weight? They're saying they want different foods in the house. What they're eating forces a family face-off.
There is no excuse. You've got to set the example.
A crucial intervention. This is a health issue that we're talking about. Are you ready to make that commitment? It all starts now.
I'm sorry.
Welcome to the show. Have a seat, everyone. Have a seat. Thank you very much. Recently, I did a show that got a lot of you talking. It was all about food, what we eat, how we eat it, and why. We did the show because when folks I work with found out about my very odd eating habits, they thought that I could maybe use some help. Take a look. These are basically the 3 other things that I eat. So what kind of an eater am I?
Well, I would say that you are a selective, disordered eater.
A disordered eater?
Yes.
I just don't see the point. I don't see the point of eating spinach. I will try this just because I feel like I should. I know. A lot of you were mystified that I was able to get to the age of 44 without actually eating spinach, but that's how I was brought up. I thought the show was fascinating because I learned that the way we eat and think about food goes all the way back to things that happened and patterns that got set during childhood. And for the first time, I really started to understand why I'm such a picky eater. I never really thought about it much before. So today, I'm going to be very brave. I'm going to try to expand my food horizons. I'm going to do something I really do not like to do, which is try new foods. I'll be trying some new foods. Yeah, wow. Yeah. It's not that brave. It's not really brave. It's more pathetic that I haven't tried these foods. And they're not really new foods. You probably heard them and eat them every day. To me, they're new. But doing that show got me, and I think all of us here, thinking about how difficult it is to have a healthy relationship with food. And that's why it's important that we're doing this show today. Did you know that 68% of adults are overweight right now in this country? 1 in 3 kids is. And this is really alarming. For the first time in 2 centuries, according to the New York Times, because of what we're eating, this generation of kids may actually have shorter life expectancies than their parents. So parents, I want you to listen up. You could be making mistakes at home that can shorten your kids' lives. Today, we have tips and tools you can use to make a big difference in your family's health. I want you to meet a 16-year-old girl named Ayanna from Washington, D.C. She has an ongoing battle with food, and it's literally threatening her life. Today, we are going to help. Take a look.
I'm a size 24. I would like to be a size 12 to 16 and be 200 pounds. My weight problem started when I was in the 2nd grade. I'm in school from 8:30 to 5, and I really don't get a chance to focus on what I eat. I just grab anything that's there.
With me working every day, it's just so much easier to stop and grab something out of the window at the fast food places.
Eating fast food is comforting. When I eat fast food, I feel tired. I don't want to go outside and play with my friends or anything. I just want to stay in the house.
Weighing over 300 pounds has taken its toll on more than just Ayanna's body.
One time, this guy, he was driving past and he was just like, "Hey, big girl." It was my fault because I'm this size.
I have been diagnosed with high blood pressure, diabetes because of my weight. My grandmother, my mom, diabetic, high blood pressure. Cancer runs in our family. My main concern with her weight is fear for her life.
After the recent loss of her great-grandmother at the age of 98, Ayanna says she realizes it's finally time to take action.
I love my grandma, so losing her was big. Losing weight for my grandma and myself is important because I think she would have been happy to see the transformation.
And please welcome Ayanna. Thanks for being with That was hard for you to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see tears in your eyes. What about it?
Because my grandmother just passed, so it's hard, you know, just dealing with the
I'm so
passing.
sorry for her loss. What was it about her that you guys were very close?
She was the rock in the family. She kept everything stable. She wasn't afraid to speak her mind. She wasn't afraid to tell anybody how she felt. She was just a really strong person. And she's been there my whole life.
And is part of you wanting to stay healthy so that you can live as long as she did?
Yes, it is. I wanna be able to tell my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren that I've made it to 98 years old. You know, you've seen so much and you've been through so many things that they probably don't know about or they have no clue.
I mean, why do you think you are the weight you are?
Poor choices, just poor choices. Like, I won't pay attention to what I'm actually eating. I'll just grab what's there. And
a lot of fast food.
Yeah, since I'm a teenager, I don't have a lot of money. I just grab what's the cheapest thing, and it's probably like chips or something instead of like an apple or something healthy.
You you recently had a kind of a wake-up call. You had a health issue.
Yes.
What happened?
I sprained my knee, and I was playing around, and I was thinking maybe my weight could have been one of the reasons I sprained my knee because it's too much pressure for my joints.
You don't want your weight to get in the way of living the life that you want to live.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Like, my weight is just, I don't like it.
You've got the greatest smile, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's so great. I mean, it's hard for anybody to come out on the stage, but for a 16-year-old facing the issue you're facing, I just think you're incredibly brave to come out and want to make a change. Is it your parents getting you the food that you're eating?
Yes, my parents buy, you know, dinner and stuff. They buy dinner. It's not always them. I could go after school and get something to eat, but they mostly buy the food I eat.
And what kind of food are you eating for dinner?
Sometimes we get fast food, like Chinese food or, you know, other fast food restaurants.
So your folks aren't cooking, or you're not cooking food in the house? You're getting
They do
stuff in.
cook. It's just like, you know, on the weekends when we're just, you know, a long week of school and work, we just grab like takeout.
This may be a tough question, but I think there are probably a lot of people who are watching who are thinking, what are your parents feeding you? What kind of choices are your parents giving you? And maybe blaming your parents. Do you look to them as part of the reason that you're eating this kind of food?
Yes and no, because I mean, I can always have a say in what I want to eat, but I just don't make that choice of saying, no, I don't want this. It's kind of my fault. Whatever
they give to you, you basically like, okay, fine, I'll just eat that.
Yes.
We wanted to find out what your parents thought of all this, so we spent some time with them. Take a look.
I didn't finish mine in time.
I have thought before that my child lifespan will be cut short because of her weight.
People tend to blame the parent because of the fact that the child can't provide these things for themselves.
Her size really doesn't matter to me. I will love her regardless. That's my child.
It's called parenting on a budget, and in this economic day and time, you have to do what you have to do.
If someone was to flat out say it's my fault that my child's overweight, I will have some choice words for them.
Ayanna's parents, Sherry and Silas, are here. Thanks very much for being with us. So, you know, I mean, really the reason we're doing this, because I think there are a lot of kids like your daughter who are facing these, and a lot of families who are facing these challenges. And I'm hoping the show will speak to them today as well as helping you guys. Silas, you said you'd have choice words for anyone who kind of pointed the finger at you guys as being responsible. There's probably a lot of people watching this who would point the finger at you. I mean, do you worry about your daughter's weight?
I do worry about her weight at times, but my main concern is as long as she's happy and healthy.
Sherry, do you think she's happy?
I think she's happy. I think she's confident in herself because I do instill that despite how she looks on the outside, she's still a beautiful person inside. So.
I think you look beautiful on the outside, too, by the way.
Thank you.
But do you think being this size makes her happy? I mean, though she's smiling a lot, clearly this is something she wants to change.
Well, I think a lot of it probably comes from me because I'm overweight, and You know, children tend to look up to their parents as the leader for who they want to be. And I'm confident with myself. And I've never had an issue with being a big girl. And I've tried to instill that in her, you know.
You're happy in life, but are you happy with the weight you're at now?
No, I'm not. I'm not happy with my weight. I wanted to change. I want to change my size, but I'm happy with the type of person I am.
Right.
I just want to change my
The
physical
size.
size.
And we want to help you do that today. In a moment, we're also going to meet Ayana's aunt, who says she knows exactly who's to blame for this family's weight problem. And Ayana's 13-year-old sister is also here. She's going to come out. Also coming up, we have a major plan for this family, for the major changes that could help save their lives. We'll be right back.
Next.
I understand about being on a budget, but there's no excuse. You've got to buckle down. You got to eat right.
Sherry, when you hear that, what do you think?
And later in the show, I tackle some of my food issues with help from some other picky eaters.
Would you like to try an olive, Lulu?
No.
No?
I do.
You do? Okay, you're brave. All right.